Nothing kills confidence faster than feeling misunderstood. You know exactly what you want to say, but when you speak, it comes out messy. People interrupt, they move on, and you're left wondering why you can't express what's so clear in your head. I've been there. It's one of the most frustrating feelings in the world, but there's a way out. In this video, I'll show you how to articulate your thoughts with the kind of clarity that makes people stop and actually listen. My friend, you can have the sharpest ideas in any room, but if you can't deliver them with precision, you'll always play second fiddle to someone who can. Here's what nobody tells you. Trust doesn't grow with every word you add. It actually shrinks with every weak pattern you let slip through. The smartest people I've worked with rarely dominate the conversation. They say less, but every sentence carries weight. Every word lands. I used to be terrible at this. I'd overexplain everything for 3 main reasons. First, I thought if I didn't give people my entire thought process, they wouldn't get it. But the truth was simpler. I just didn't know how to distill complex ideas into something digestible. Second, I wasn't confident in what I was saying, so I'd circle around the point 5 different ways, hoping something would stick. And third, when people didn't react the way I expected, I'd get nervous and just keep talking, trying to force understanding. Clarity builds authority. When your message drags, people stop listening. Every extra sentence weakens your point and makes you sound unsure, no matter how smart you are. Confidence shows in precision. Say what matters, then stop talking. Experts don't repeat themselves. They trust their words to land. When your thoughts are clean, your delivery feels sharp. You don't convince people with more words. You convince them by how certain you sound in fewer ones. Long explanations often hide uncertainty. Clear, brief communication signals that you know what you're doing. Silence is part of communication. When you pause, you show control. You let your words carry weight instead of chasing validation through noise. People respect presence, not volume. Authority isn't about forcing attention, it's about expecting it. Every word should serve a purpose. If it doesn't move the message forward, it dilutes it. Cut anything that repeats, explains too much, or fills space. The more concise you are, the more power your message holds. A simple rule helps. Don't ask how long you can talk. Ask how little you can say to make the point clear. This mindset forces focus. It trims the excess and sharpens your thinking. Brevity isn't about speaking less. It's about delivering more meaning in less time. Communication isn't performance, it's precision. If you want respect, talk like your ideas matter, calmly, clearly, and confidently. Fewer words, stronger presence. The goal isn't to sound impressive, it's to be understood immediately. When your delivery is clean, people trust your competence and follow your lead. The takeaway is simple. Speak with intention, pause with confidence, and let your clarity do the heavy lifting. So I'm about to give you the exact constraint that forced me to become 10 times clearer overnight. But first, you need to understand why everything you're doing right now is making you sound weaker, not stronger. Let me tell you something nobody wants you to know. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Explain your entire concept before it runs out. This constraint cuts through everything. You can't waste time meandering. You can't hide behind technical jargon or unnecessary complexity. You're forced to identify the actual core of your message versus the mental clutter you've mistaken for substance. The 2-minute version is almost always stronger than the 15-minute one. You've eliminated everything that doesn't directly serve what you're trying to communicate. Record yourself next time, 2 minutes, 1 take. Watch it back without judgment, just observation. You'll spot exactly where you're adding pointless context, where you're hedging instead of stating clearly, where you're diluting the message because you're uncomfortable with directness. Do it again, tighter this time. The difference in clarity and authority will be immediate and undeniable. Warren Buffett said, "Improving your communication skills is one of the fastest ways to become 50% more valuable." He's right. Clear communication multiplies everything else you bring: your intelligence, work ethic, creativity, expertise. None of it registers if you can't articulate it in a way that makes people actually listen. Most people confuse more words with better communication. They think adding layers makes them sound smarter or more thorough. The opposite is true. The ability to distill complex ideas into simple, clear language is what separates amateurs from professionals. Your ideas only matter if they land. And they only land when you stop protecting yourself with excess explanation and start trusting the strength of the core message. Practice this constraint religiously. 2 minutes. Force clarity. Your communication will transform faster than almost any other skill you develop. The people who can say what matters, clearly and quickly, are the ones who get heard, believed, and followed. Communication feels different when you stop hiding behind extra words and just say what matters. If you felt that shift, where less actually became more, I want to hear about it. Comment below and tell me what changed for you when you started speaking with more precision. I'll be reading through and replying because this is something we're all working on together. My friend, here's the truth nobody's saying to your face. What you say becomes irrelevant if your body language is screaming the opposite message. People won't follow someone who looks uncertain. If your voice says, I know what I'm doing, but your hands are shaking, or you're playing with your hair, people don't trust either signal. Your energy reads as nervous and unsure, and nobody wants to follow that. Be controlled, precise, and deliberate with your movements. Stop fidgeting. Strong posture signals you're grounded, even when you're not. Stand tall, shoulders back, hands steady. This tells people you're solid, but here's what matters more. It tells you that you're solid. Your body language doesn't just communicate outward, it reinforces your internal state. Your physical posture directly influences your hormones and decision-making. Stand with confidence, chest open, shoulders back, taking up space, and your testosterone increases while cortisol decreases. You literally feel more confident. Standing like a leader makes you think like one. It's not performance, it's biochemistry. How you position yourself reveals how you feel about yourself. Confident people stand open, they take up space. Their gestures are broad and purposeful. They're not afraid to be seen. Uncertain people hunch. They fidget. They make themselves smaller. They look like they want to disappear. Your nervous habits sabotage you more than you realize. I knew someone brilliant at project management, genuinely talented, sharp thinking. But in meetings, he'd bite his nails mid-sentence without noticing. He'd constantly run his fingers through his hair every few seconds. These small behaviors completely undermined his words. His ideas were solid, but the fidgeting made him seem uncertain. And if he seemed uncertain, why would anyone trust his direction? I mentioned it to him directly. He started carrying a pen to hold or click. Simple fix, immediate impact. Once the nervous tells stopped, people treated him differently, more seriously, like someone worth following. Your body broadcasts your internal state constantly. Fidgeting, touching your face, shifting your weight, playing with objects. These signal insecurity, whether you feel it or not. People pick up on this subconsciously and adjust their perception of you accordingly. Control your movement. Be intentional with your gestures. When you speak, let your hands emphasize points, then return to stillness. Plant your feet. Keep your shoulders back. Take up the space you're entitled to take up. This isn't about faking confidence. It's about removing the physical signals that contradict your competence. Your ideas deserve to land without being undermined by unconscious nervous energy. Control your body language, and you control perception, both theirs and yours. Your posture shapes your mindset. Use that connection with intention. Let's address this directly. Here's a visual exercise that helps me before any high-stakes situation. Imagine a CEO walking on stage at a major conference versus someone giving their first presentation at work. Close your eyes and picture both. How do they move differently? The CEO uses intentional gestures. Their hands paint pictures, but nothing's rushed or frantic. They command attention without demanding it. They move slowly, deliberately. Every step has purpose. They don't try to take up space. They naturally occupy it. The newer person fidgets, touches their face, adjusts their shirt, shifts their weight constantly. Their movements are reactive, not intentional. The difference isn't inherent ability, it's learned control over the signals they send. Before any important meeting, picture someone you deeply respect. Match their energy and posture. This becomes your new baseline, not an act. Executive presence is controlled calm. Your nervous habits, rambling, touching your face, fidgeting with your clothes, clicking pens, destroy your message. People focus on your anxiety instead of your words. Ground yourself. Move deliberately. Slow everything down. Be precise with every gesture. This alone makes people trust you instantly. Your body either strengthens or kills your message. Master your physical presence, and you master the room. It's that direct. No one respects scattered energy, no matter how smart your ideas are. By the way, I just launched YouTube memberships on the channel. If you've been getting value from these breakdowns and want to go deeper, this is how you can do it. Members get priority replies to comments, early access to videos, and the chance to suggest topics you want me to cover next. So if that sounds valuable to you, check out the join button below. I'd love to have you as part of the community taking this seriously. Listen, here's what separates you from everyone else waiting in line. You don't get appointed as a leader. You claim it by stepping up. Leadership isn't about titles. It's about seeing what needs to happen and making it happen. People with executive presence do this automatically. They spot the gap and move. Here's what this looks like in reality. Group projects fail because everyone waits for someone else to lead. Meetings waste time because no one takes control. Opportunities disappear because capable people stay quiet. Stop waiting for permission. When you see chaos, bring structure. When you see confusion, bring clarity. When you see inaction, bring direction. Map out what needs to happen. Assign responsibilities, set deadlines, show up with a plan. People won't resist. They'll be relieved someone finally took charge. Once you do this, everything shifts. People start coming to you for decisions. They ask for your input. They defer to your judgment, not because you demanded it, but because you demonstrated it. Leadership is claimed through action, not granted through permission. The moment you start acting like a leader, people treat you like one. They don't care about your job title. They care that someone is driving the ship forward. Most people spend their entire lives waiting to be chosen. Don't be most people. Choose yourself. See what needs doing and do it. That's how you become the person everyone turns to. That's executive presence in its purest form. My friend, here's something that took me years to understand. People would rather follow someone who makes clear decisions quickly than someone who makes perfect decisions slowly. Because in the absence of direction, people create their own narratives. They fill the vacuum with doubt. When you step up and say, here's what we're doing, even if it's not the optimal solution, you've created certainty. And certainty is what people crave in uncertain situations. They can work with a clear direction. They can't work with ambiguity. I learned this during a product launch that went completely sideways. We had a major bug surface hours before going live. Everyone was looking around, waiting for someone to make the call. Do we delay? Do we push forward with a patch? Do we roll back? The silence was paralyzing. I made the call. We delay 24 hours. Here's what happens in the next 6 hours, so we launch tomorrow. Was it perfect? Probably not, but it was decisive. Everyone got clarity instantly. The tension disappeared. People knew exactly what to do. Leadership isn't about being right every time. It's about being decisive enough that people can move forward. Indecision costs more than imperfect decisions because indecision creates paralysis. Leaders get followed because they create certainty in chaos. People desperately want direction. They need someone to say, here's what we're doing, here's how it works, follow me. Without that certainty, no one trusts you with bigger responsibility. People feel safe around leaders. Leaders create that safety through decisiveness. They don't ask for permission or wait for consensus. They assess, decide, and move. That momentum builds confidence in everyone around them. Stop asking yourself if you should take charge. Just take charge. Make the decision. Build the momentum. Indecision breeds doubt in your team. Action breeds confidence. People want leaders who act, not leaders who need approval first. Your team doesn't need perfect decisions. They need clear decisions they can execute on. Give them that, and they'll follow you anywhere. Let me be real with you. People won't say it to your face, but they're mentally keeping score. Every time you dodge a difficult conversation, they notice. Every time you avoid addressing the elephant in the room, you lose a little respect. Avoidance kills respect. Period. Executive presence means being the person willing to say what others won't. Mark Zuckerberg has a quote I think about often. Your job as a leader is to be a truth teller. You have to tell the truth even when nobody else will. This might be the most important thing I've had to practice consistently, having the hard conversations. Every meaningful improvement in my life has come from confronting something uncomfortable. My health, my relationships, my friendships, my work, all of it got better when I stopped avoiding the tough talks. I had a friend who constantly complained about her relationship. He's cheating, he's lying, he's hiding things. Every conversation was the same pattern, but she never acknowledged her own role in the mess. She wanted sympathy without responsibility. Eventually, I cut through it. I can't keep having these conversations where you play victim but won't own your part. Either take responsibility or stop bringing this to me. She was shocked. No one had been that direct with her before. I made it clear, you want my opinion, you get honesty. You don't want honesty, don't ask me. That moment wasn't about her. It was about respecting myself enough to have difficult conversations. I walked away feeling more confident, not because I won anything, but because I proved something to myself. I'm the kind of person who addresses hard things directly. That's what builds real confidence. Not affirmations or positive thinking, actually doing the uncomfortable thing, actually setting the boundary, actually speaking the truth when it's easier to stay quiet. Every time you have a hard conversation you've been avoiding, you prove to yourself you're capable of more. That's how you build unshakable self-respect. Through action, not avoidance. Here's the truth. The anticipation is always worse than the actual conversation. Always. The moment you recognize a conversation needs to happen, you have 3 seconds to commit to having it. Not to have the conversation itself, but to commit to it. 3 seconds. That's your window before your brain floods you with excuses. All those justifications come after the initial clarity. So when you recognize something needs addressing, count down from 3 and commit. Say it out loud or send the message. Once you commit, you can't back out. You've created accountability for yourself. The anticipation is always worse than the actual conversation. Always. Your brain catastrophizes and imagines the worst reactions. But most people respect directness. They might not like what you say, but they respect that you said it. Replace avoidance with calibrated confrontation. Not harsh, not aggressive, just honest and composed. Honesty builds trust. When you soften the truth or dance around issues, you create confusion. When you're direct but respectful, you create clarity. When you're willing to name problems directly, you become the person people look to for solutions. Great leaders don't avoid discomfort. They walk straight toward it with intention. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now, within 3 seconds of recognizing the problem. That's leadership. That's respect. That's how you build unshakable confidence in yourself. Now here's the part most people completely overlook, and it's exactly why they master everything I just taught you, but still don't get followed. It's about the one thing that either multiplies everything you've learned or completely destroys it. Nobody wants to admit this, but you cannot lead others if you can't regulate yourself. Executive presence comes from emotional predictability. I worked with a manager who was technically brilliant. He understood the business inside and out, but he had zero emotional regulation. You could predict what kind of day it would be the moment he walked in. Good day at home? Fine. Argument with his partner? Everyone suffered. A leader who lets personal frustration spill into their team destroys trust fast. Respect isn't earned through authority. It's earned through consistency, emotional control, and fairness. People don't follow titles. They follow character. If you can't manage your emotions, you can't manage people. Technical competence means nothing if your emotions dictate your leadership. People will tolerate you at best. At worst, they'll leave. Consistency creates psychological safety. People perform better when they know what to expect from you. They need to know that whether you're having a great day or a terrible day, you show up the same way. Your team shouldn't have to manage your emotions. That's your job. When you walk in angry, scattered, or anxious, that energy infects everyone. When you walk in steady, grounded, and composed, that stability lifts everyone. Emotional regulation under stress is rare. That's exactly why it's so respected. Anyone can lead when everything's going well. Real leaders stay consistent when everything's falling apart. Master your internal state, and you earn the right to lead others. Lose control of yourself, and you lose the ability to lead anyone. Let me share something that changed everything for me. There's a concept that transformed how I think about emotional regulation. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Most people react. Something happens, and they immediately respond from their emotional state. Someone criticizes their work, and they get defensive. A project fails, and they panic. A team member disappoints them, and they lash out. There's no gap. It's a stimulus, then an immediate reaction. Leaders create a gap. Something happens, they pause, they choose their response based on what the situation needs, not what their emotions are screaming at them to do. That pause might only be 2 seconds, but those 2 seconds separate reactive behavior from intentional leadership. Emotional control is a skill, not a trait. When frustration hits, pause before reacting. A calm response protects relationships and decision quality. Instead of asking, "How do I feel?" ask, "What's needed right now?" Mastering that shift separates reactive people from effective ones. That small practice has transformed how people experience me as a leader. I'm predictable. They know I'm not going to fly off the handle. They know I'm going to be measured. And that predictability creates an environment where people can take risks, be honest, and perform at their best. The higher you climb, the more people look to you before they look at anything else. They're reading your energy before they read the data. If you're panicking, they panic. If you're calm, they stay calm. That's the weight of leadership. Your emotional state becomes the team's emotional state. Here's what nobody tells you. Executive presence isn't about being the most charismatic person in the room. It's about being someone people trust to lead. I used to think I wasn't a good communicator because I wasn't naturally charismatic, I wasn't the loudest, or the funniest, or the most magnetic personality, but I learned that's not what matters. What matters is cutting out the weak behaviors and replacing them with clarity, calmness, and conviction. When you do that, people start listening, they start following, and it's less about adding new skills and more about eliminating the things that undermine you. Think of it like sculpting. Michelangelo said he didn't create David, he removed everything that wasn't David. That's what building executive presence is like. You're not adding a persona or learning to be someone you're not. You're removing the behaviors that obscure who you actually are when you're at your best. Stop over-explaining, stop fidgeting, stop asking for permission, stop avoiding hard conversations, stop being emotionally inconsistent. Do these 5 things, and you'll immediately stand out from 99% of people. Your words will carry more weight, your presence will command more respect, and opportunities will start showing up that weren't there before. My friend, here's what most people miss about these changes. They don't just add up, they multiply. The power here isn't in doing all 5 things perfectly, it's in understanding that one change triggers everything else. Stop fidgeting, and suddenly people take your words more seriously. When your words carry weight, you speak up more. When you speak up more, you get more practice having hard conversations. Each shift reinforces the next. I've watched people make one tiny adjustment, and 6 months later, they're unrecognizable. Not because they faked a new personality, but because they removed the behaviors that were obscuring their actual competence. The people who rise aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who've learned to communicate in a way that builds trust. One behavior at a time. That consistency becomes your reputation. That reputation becomes your opportunity. If you found this video helpful, this next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life, start now.